Jane Austen was born on December 16, 1775, to George and Cassandra Austen in Steventon, Hampshire, England. Jane had a passion for writing from a very young age, and her romantic novels still capture the hearts of her readers today. Her most well-known novels include Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma, a novel she dedicated to the Prince of England. Pride and Prejudice is Austen's best-known novel, written in 1813. While it is loved by her readers for its romantic appeal, Austen also touches on key issues faced in the early 1800s, such as the hierarchy in society, women's belittlement, and the large gap between the middle and upper classes. In Sense and Sensibility, written in 1811, Austen uses her main characters, Eleanor and Marianne, to represent the two cultural movements of the early 1800s, classicism and romanticism. In her 1815 novel, Emma, Austen chooses to focus on the role of women in society and stresses the need for women to marry into wealth and status to create a better life for themselves. Jane lived from 1775 to 1816 during the Revolutionary era and the forming of the new republic in America. In England, Jane lived under the rule of King George III and his son, who served as Prince Regent until his father passed away. In the late 1700s to the early 1800s, England was still largely ruled under the monarchy system, with a plethora of different social classes. This system of society influenced Austen's novels, as she had a tendency to theme her novels around the hierarchy system and the treatment and experiences of women at the time. The American Revolution was a true rebellion of the English monarchy. In the same way, Austen creates characters in her novels that rebel by challenging the unspoken rules of English society. Austen's novels are timeless and definitely worth the read of people today. Her stories are filled with intriguing characters and plots that never cease to keep her readers invested, while also providing historical accuracy of England in the 1800s. Women's rights began presenting themselves in the late 18th century through works such as A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft, which suggested that women should be qualified through their level of intellect and status. Although fiction, Austen's novels are also seen as indirect supporters of this movement. It is through advocates like Austen that the rights of women were addressed, and Austen's novels serve as a reminder to all Americans of how far we have come regarding women's rights. This impacts us because it is through people like Austen that women are highly respected and well-educated job holders throughout America today. Two of Austen's novels, Persuasion and Northanger Abbey, were published by her brother after her death in 1816.